Amend the amendment. There's a new debate on Capitol Hill, over the 14th Amendment, which grants automatic citizenship to anyone born here in the U.S., on U.S. soil. That includes the children of illegal immigrants. And that is why some Republicans, prominent Republicans, are pressing for changes, including the House Minority Leader, John Boehner. Listen here.
But I think that there is a problem. To provide an incentive for illegal immigrants to come here so that their children can be U.S. citizens does, in fact, draw more people to our country. I do think that it's time for us to secure our borders and enforce the law and allow this conversation about the 14th Amendment to continue.
And apparently the conversation's picking up steam. The debate has put a new focus on Texas. On the screen, it is said that 60,000 babies are born to illegal mothers every year. Judge Napolitano, Fox senior judicial analyst, the guy who knows the Constitution back and forth and pull it out of his pull it out of his pocket. He just recited to you.
I take a copy of it to sleep
God.
with me at night.
14th Amendment was enacted in 1868.
Right.
Reason was we're coming out of the Civil War. You wanted to protect the slaves here in the U.S.
Exactly. There was a dispute as to at the time of the citizenship status of slaves born elsewhere and slaves born here. The law has been upheld uniformly since 1868 and without exception. And we start with a couple of basics. The Congress cannot change the Constitution or the 14th Amendment on its own. It takes 2/3 of each House of Congress and 3/4 of the states to change the amendment. The Congress can't alter the amendment or the interpretation of the amendment by enacting legislation. So this is nothing but political chatter by those who are concerned, understandably, about problems at the border.
Only chatter?
I can't imagine that there would be a consensus to change the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment has been the linchpin, the instrument by which the federal government assured that the states did not create classes of people and treated everybody equally. That has been its purpose, and that has been the instrument, the means by which the Congress and the presidents have used it.
So then the question for folks in Texas who are worried about illegals living off the dole or causing more strain on their state budget, really, it's not a legal question. That's a question for them to figure out politically or based on their state budget. But last year, there was something called the Birthright Citizenship Act. Gained a little bit of steam and then went away. Does this have any association with the 14th Amendment?
No, no. Anything that altered or attempted to alter the meaning of the 14th Amendment would be unconstitutional. Why? Because the Constitution, which includes the amendments, is the supreme law of the land, and anything inconsistent with the Constitution would be invalid.
But if the act were carried out, you had 100 co-sponsors about a year ago, it would require at least one parent to be a U.S. citizen for a baby to become an American citizen at birth. If you were to enact the BCA, as some refer to it, is that a way to get around the 14th Amendment and get done what people like John Cornyn and John Kyle and John McCain, and we heard from John Boehner, are trying to do?
No, that would not be a way around it. There is no way around the 14th Amendment. These people took an oath to uphold the Constitution, whether they agree with it or not, all of it and not part of it. And the Supreme Court has said you cannot take privileges or benefits away from a child because of a crime committed by the parent. Therefore, everybody born here is an American citizen, no matter what their parent's status was at the time of their birth.
So the chance to amend the amendment
next to none.
Ain't going to happen.
Ain't going to happen unless there was an overwhelming consensus. 3/4 of the state legislatures and 2/3 of each House of Congress requires an overwhelming consensus. Might that come about? Yes. Is it likely to come about from this conversation? I don't think so.
We've only had 27 in our history.
That's right.
And the last time was what, about congressional pay raise or the salaries of Congress?
They now all hate that one. They're not allowed to raise their own salaries.
Tisk, tisk. Thank you, Judge.
Well, they're allowed to raise their own salaries, but they have to wait before they can take the money.
Got it. All right.
Right.
Catch the Judge all week on the Fox Business Network. Prime time, 9 o'clock Eastern time. It's called Freedom Watch. It's a great show, and this man has 1,000,001 opinions, and he'll share them with you every night on the Fox.